This is a trapping video. If you're not into trapping, please don't watch. If you are, just come along and let's go catch some critters. Well, there's one of the wild horses that hangs around up in this part of the world. And you can see some of its buddies back through there. It's checking me out. Bye, little fella. Yeah, I got a cubby set there, haven't had any action. Onward. Yeah, somebody was asking me what my cubby sets look like, and that's it. That's the third remake on this. I've caught 2 yotes and 1 bobcat. That turkey there died of old age. He was old when they give him to us, but figured I'd use him for bait. Don't usually want to eat something that dies of natural causes or whatever, but so that's it. And Stalker Steve, I want to say, asked me if we'd had a deer or rabbit die off, and yes, we have. Our deer around here got blue tongue, and it killed just tons of them off. And that may very well be why I've had yotes coming into these cubby sets. But let's try this again. Weather changed last night. It rained, then it spit a little snow and froze everything up. So I'm going around remaking sets, and I've got a ways to go. So let's see what happens. Back here at this cubby set, we had the turkey carcass, and that's what's left of the turkey, and there's another yote. Another yote in the cubby set. That's a young male. MB 550, same old spot. I want to say this is 3 or 4 yotes I've got in this. That looks kind of scrawny. I think our deer population being down has to be the reason why they're coming into these cubbies. But I'll load this one up and get on down the line. The MB 550, ideal catch pretty much. Here we got a bit of rain and the creek's up a little bit. Had a 330 under that tree there and it was snapped. Thought there was a den under there. I couldn't center the trap too well because it's in a weird spot back in there. So when this clears up, I'll reset that. I got a set in the den over there. Looks like something's been using it. Not sure what. I threw some lure back in there. Anyway, I set a DP here yesterday. Picked up this coon. He don't look too big because he's all wet, but it's a Z trap. Just used sardines and can of cheap smoked oysters. Get that critter loaded up and get on down the line. Some strange weather. I know everybody's dealing with it, but hard to keep sets working on land in this stuff. Onward. Well, the weather is crappy, and that's putting it mildly. Snowed, now it's raining on top of the snow. I snap trap on this beaver lodge here that I set up yesterday, and I've trapped this pond a bit. I got a snap trap here, but it looks like it's got something in it. See if I can get it out of here without going for a swim. There we go. Oh boy. Wow. That's a big one. That's a good beaver there. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. That one has been caught before. It's missing a foot. Well, let me get that one loaded up and on we go. My camera it ain't waterproof, so let's get on. As you can see, the creek's up. I was gonna remake my beaver set over there, but I'm dealing with this right now, so Also, I had an otter set over there. It's flooded out. But I moved my DP up the bank, and I got another coon in this Z-trap. So he looks kind of scrawny, but they don't get that big around here. Also, he's soaked with water. So I had that baited with oysters and sardines mixed together. Just the old cheap ones. So, like I said, not a bad coon for around here. I like those Z-traps. Good hold on it there. Yep, load that critter up and on we go. Not a bad coon. Got another beaver pond here. They pretty much flooded this little holler out. Lodge here. Had a castor mound set here and got a beaver in it. Can't really tell how big that critter is. See if I can get in here without going for a swim. Yeah, not too awful bad. That's probably a 2-year-old there. All right. Well, flooding is what we're dealing with. Had a channel set up there. Beaver had a small dam up there, they usually do. This is the same place. I got the beaver off the lodge there. And they've been chewing on that poplar tree. I had a channel set, but everything's flooded. It's a shallow channel. Now we got something in here. And it looks like another 2-year-old. It's a muddy one. Hang on. Yeah. That's a 1216 JC, so it's a pretty big trap. Well, I'll get that muddy beeve loaded up, and on we go. So it's kept raining, flooding all my sets out. I had a 330 set up there, and I thought there was another beaver in this pond, and it seemed to be avoiding that trap. It was on one side of the lodge, and it was going out the other entrance. And I couldn't get to the other entrance because the water was too deep. So I set up a snare on this little sycamore tree and put some lure on that broke off branch there. And now my snare is gone, and I'm going to wander in here. Oh yeah. Oh wow, that is a big beeve. Man. Alright, let me get this critter out and get it on the bank and we'll have a look at it. Looks like a big one though. Well, there it is, beside those shoulder length gauntlets, so give you some kind of idea as to how big it is. And this set here I picked up from watching the meat trapper, and you just suspend your snare half in and half out of the water, maybe 2/3 under, and I put the lure up there. Beaver starts swimming around trying to find the source of that scent and swims right into the snare. So I've used that set a couple times now and it's worked. Like it. So my thanks to you, Tim, and I'm going to get this critter out of the snare and load it up on the 4-wheeler. I got a coyote set up there and get on down the line. Big beeve. There's a dirt hole set back here in this pine stand, and there's about as pretty a fox as you'll ever see. Oh boy. Nice. I'm back at this one beaver pond. We're getting ready to get more rain. Had a bit of break in the weather, but I had a 330 set here at the lodge. And we've got another big beaver looks like. Yes. Don't know if that's as big as the one I snared down through there, but it's pretty big. Sorry, I thought my camera quit working. Well, I'll load this one up and get on. Not a bad one at all. That's a 330 Bridger. That's 2 out of this lodge and 1 down there in the snare, so good. Alright, real quick, we got a beaver over there in a snare, and we've got one right there in a snare, so I've got to dispatch these. There's another snare over there, and I can't tell. We may have a third beaver. I see some air bubbles. But let me dispatch these and I'll get them loaded up and we'll get another shot at them. It's raining and my camera's not waterproof. So here's what I got out of the strip mine pond. Got one in a snare over there. Got one in a snare over there, and then one in a snare over by those 2 partially submerged willows. And there they are. Of course, the middle one's a big one. And it's still raining. So I got to get these loaded up. Got more traps to check. I may reset this pond. There's a big lodge right out in there. I'll try to get a shot of that later. Onward. So we got a trap missing on a drag, 10 foot of number 2 chain, and a 3/8 double prong drag. Had it set down there around those carcasses. See where something's got hung up down here. And then there's some leaves going across. This is actually my driveway. So I've got to try to figure out which way this critter went. I don't know if it would have climbed the hill with that drag or what, but I'm hoping it's cat, but I have no idea at this point. So, let's see if we can find it. I'll probably walk up in there and see what's going on. Y'all see the 4-wheeler way down there? And I'll probably miss it, but there's a cat sitting down there on that dead hemlock. So I gotta go down and dispatch it. So there it is. It's a decent sized tom. They usually look smaller out in the woods, but it's got a pretty good clear belly on it. A number 2 Bridger Douglas. Got a really good catch on it. And so it made it all the way from over the bank there from where the 4-wheeler is. I don't know if you can see my hunter orange hood down there. So made it quite a ways, but we got some clear woods around here, except for where they're logging at. So I gotta drag this off the hill, and this was my first trap check of the day, because you can probably hear my chickens hollering because my house is over that way. So get this nice tom out of there. Like I said, it's got a nice belly on it. Oh, really good fur. Pretty big paws. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Trapping Down South. It's a young lady and her dad, I think. So she asked me to give them a shout out, and that's what I'm doing. Trapping Down South. They need subs, so everybody please go help them out if you can. And I got to get this one out and get on down the line. Got more traps to check. Nice catch. There's a better shot of that cat. I went in and looked at the footage. I said, well, I didn't even get the whole bobcat in the shot. I was on a steep bank up there and I didn't have anywhere to back up to, so couldn't get the whole critter in there. So there it is. Said it's a decent sized tom. I'm happy with it. Now, turn my fan back on here, and like I said, I've got more traps to go check, so I'm happy with that. There's a strip mine pond I've got a few beaver out of. there's some rabbit hunters over there. But, I gotta go down there and check my traps. Got 2 body grips down there, so let's go check it out. So we got a beaver here and a 12-16 JC. It's kind of a swim through set. A little bait up on this thing. And then we've got one right behind me here in a 330 bridger. So not too bad. That's 5 beaver out of this pond here. Good. Well, back here in this pine stand, and guess what? Got another yote in a cubby set. This is what's left of my raccoon carcass. Had it hung up here on this old pine tree. Had it fenced in. Number 2 Bridger Douglas. Weird. It's a male. Not a very big one, but another yote out of the population. Onward. I'm back in this pine thicket on the other side of that old haul road where they used to haul coal out. And I set this up every year and had a dirt hole set over there. I'm pulling traps and hung a turkey wing up here and put a dirt hole in, and kind of a half and half cubby set. Got this nice little gray fox here. You can hear me over the wind. Nice little gray. Probably the only fox of the season. They're scarce this year. So number 2 Bridger Douglas. Sorry, there was a logging truck going by. There's a road out that way. Number 2 Bridger Douglas. My blue cheese bait down in the dirt hole, and that old turkey wing was just hanging up there as an attractant. It's entirely too warm to be trapping right now, and only about a week left, so like I said, I'm pulling sets, but got a pretty little gray fox. It's a female. Alright, that's the end of the 2017-2018 trapping season, and wasn't a great year, but you know, we had a deer die off around here, and I think that had something to do with the predator situation. In fact, I'm sure of it, but I kept sets out all year, and it is what it is. So now it's time to go off and become a chicken rancher. So, I'll see y'all later.